Hey, welcome. Does your organization ever feel like it's just spinning its wheels? Everyone's working super hard, but you're not really sure where you're all headed? Well, today, we're going to fix that. We're going to talk about turning that fuzzy idea of strategy into a crystal clear journey that everyone can get excited about.
I mean, think about it for a second. Would you ever hop in your car, start the engine, and just drive? With no destination in mind at all? Probably not, right? You might end up somewhere interesting by accident, but you wouldn't actually be getting anywhere on purpose.
And you know what? That feeling of just driving aimlessly is a huge problem for so many organizations. It leads to wasted time, confusion, and a whole lot of frustration. But here's the good news. There's a way to fix it. Today, we're building the map. We're going to give all that hard work a direction, a purpose, and a clear finish line. So first things first, every great journey has to start with a destination. You've got to know where you're going before you can figure out how to get there. In the world of business strategy, we call that destination your vision. Now, I really want you to pay attention to the words on this slide, like achievable dream and ideal state. This isn't just boring corporate speak. This stuff is meant to be inspiring. A vision isn't just some target on a spreadsheet. It's a picture of the future that's so exciting, it literally pulls the whole organization toward it. It's that mountain peak you can all see in the distance, motivating you to keep climbing. Okay, so we've got our destination picked out. We know where we're going. Awesome. But that's only half the puzzle. The very next question we have to ask ourselves is, why? Why are we even taking this trip in the first place? And that why, well, that's your organization's mission. Your mission is basically your organization's DNA. It's the thing that makes you unique, what separates you from everybody else. See, it's less about the destination and way more about who you are while you're on the journey. It's your core identity, and it should be the guiding star for every single decision you make along the way. So let's put it all together, because this is super important. Your vision is the where, that future state you're trying to reach. Your mission is the why, the deep-seated purpose that fuels the entire journey. And you absolutely positively need both. A mission without a vision has no direction. And a vision without a mission, well, it just has no soul. All right, we have our destination and we have our purpose. We're ready to hit the road. But how exactly are we going to get there? We can't just wing it. We need a map, right? Some turn-by-turn directions. In business, that map is called the strategic plan. This is where the dream starts to get real. A strategic plan is all about action. It takes that big, beautiful, inspiring vision and chops it down into actual, concrete steps. It's what tells you how to use your most valuable resources, your people, your money, your time, to really move the needle. It's the practical, hands-on guide for the entire trip. Now, you wouldn't set off on a big road trip without the right gear, would you? Of course not. You've got your destination, your purpose, and your map. But you also need some tools to help you navigate, to check your progress, and to make sure you're actually staying on course. So where on earth do you start? Well, the journey really begins with 3 critical first steps. First, you lay the foundation. Create that vision, mission, and plan. Next, you have to get everyone else as excited as you are, which means building a really strong business case for why this change matters so much. And finally, you make it all real by developing cascading goals. That's just a fancy way of saying you break down the big goals into smaller tasks for every team and every person so everyone knows exactly what part they play. And this is your strategic toolkit. Think of benchmarking as looking at other travelers' routes to see how your speed compares. Assessments are like a pre-trip inspection of your car, making sure you've got the gas and the engine power to actually make it. Your KPIs, or key performance indicators, those are the gauges on your dashboard, your speedometer and your fuel gauge, telling you if you're on track. A gap assessment is what helps you spot a surprise roadblock or a washed-out bridge up ahead. And finally, developing roles and responsibilities is just making sure everyone knows who's driving, who's navigating, and who's in charge of the snacks. Everybody needs a job. Look, if you walk away with just one thing from all this, please let it be this simple equation. It's so powerful. Your vision is your destination. Your mission is your purpose. And your strategic plan, that's your map. That's the core of everything. So I'll leave you with this to think about with your own team. Does your organization have a clear destination, a compelling purpose, a map you can actually trust to get you there? And if not, what's the very first step you need to take on your journey?